Okay, phonetics part 4, question number 12. Explain why the transcription of Slayer can be given as Slayer instead of Slayer, and give the correct term for this phenomenon. The correct term is, of course, smoothing. We need that word, so write down the word smoothing. That's the correct term. And what is it? Well, basically, if you have a closing diphthong, in this case, A, followed by schwa, A, yeah, you have 3 vowel qualities in a row. Now, smoothing means that we sort of skip the second element of the diphthong, so we are lazy, we don't want to pronounce everything, and we lengthen that first element a bit, and so you end up with 2 vowel qualities instead of 3. So A becomes air, so slayer becomes slayer, and that's smoothing. Question number 13. Explain what is meant by monophthonging. Well, that's basically even worse. You start with 3, as in Ireland, I plus the schwa. You have 3 vowel qualities, and then you turn it into 1 long vowel, like Ireland, ah. So I, 3 become 1, ah, and that's monophthonging. Okay. The next one. 14. Give the term for the phenomenon that explains the pronunciation of medium instead of medium. Well, it should be the other way around. What is happening here is compression. So that second syllable with an unstressed E. So we are trying to get rid of that, and we do not emphasize it that much. So it becomes some sort of a combination with a D, it's sort of affricate, the j sound, and that's compression. So if you write down with compression, then you're okay. Compression, medium, j. So E, we do not pronounce E anymore, but we end up with an affricate, j, compression. Okay. We'll give the 3-term label of the following consonants. So if you discuss the consonants, you have to say something about whether they are voiced or not. And they use the terminology there, fortis, lenis. So that's the first thing you do. And then you say something about the place of articulation and the manner of articulation. So your B is voiced, so you use the word lenis. So that's the first one, lenis. It's bilabial. You use both lips to produce it. That is the place of articulation. And then the final thing you add is the manner. Well, it's a plosive, and that's the manner of articulation. Yes. So that covers the B. The D, well, same thing. You start with it being lenis. It is alveolar. Tip of the tongue against the alveolar ridge, remember? That's the place. And now the manner, again, it's a plosive. Number 3, the sh is palato-alveolar. Oh, sorry, it should start with saying that it's a fortis. It's a fortis sound, so no voice. It's fortis, palato-alveolar. And then the final thing you say is that it's a fricative, and that's the manner of articulation. Okay, and the final one, 4, g is voiced, so you need to use the word lenis to begin with. Then the second thing you say is place, back of your throat, velar. And the final thing you mention is the fact that it's, again, a plosive. That's the manner. Okay. Well, I'm not going to discuss 16, as you can find that one in the book, or not in the book, but in the extra information on the website, the format there, if you check it, you can fill it in. It's not that difficult. Okay.